Hi everyone, it's Annabelle coming to you from the closet. I know I've been on hiatus forever. I have no excuses. Let's not even talk about it. Let's talk about something else. Christopher Abbott. Annabelle's thirst video about Christopher Abbott. So Ivan and I were looking for something to watch recently on Netflix, and we stumbled across Catch-22. This was one of my favorite books in high school. I totally love this book for a zillion reasons, but this is not a video about Catch-22. If you guys are lucky, I won't ever do a video about Catch-22 because I'll just go on and on about it because I totally got obsessed with this book in high school. I did my AP exam English essay on Catch-22, which for the record, I got a 5 out of 5 on that essay. Anyway, Christopher Abbott is in Catch-22, which was a surprise to me. I didn't even realize it, but it reminded me of how much I love him, how much of a great actor he is, and how much his eyes are like magical, dark pools of sexy magic. So I can't even come up with any other words right now because my brain is just that's what he does to me. You may have seen Christopher Abbott in lots of things. He was in Girls, which was an HBO series a few years back. He was in Whiskey Tango Foxtrot with Tina Fey, which, by the way, I almost didn't recognize him in that movie because he was playing a really grizzled Afghan translator. And you know when I recognized him? It was because he was doing this heavy duty acting with his face and his eyes. You guys, I'm telling you, the eyes go in through my eyes and they go down through my nerve endings down to my lady parts, and that's where they resonate. One of his early shows was called, one of his early movies was called Hello, I Must Be Going, was with Melanie Linsky, and he kind of played this younger kid that was seduced by the older woman. He was so adorable and sexy in that. And then from that, he did this movie called James White, which was kind of a small indie film. But if you ever feel like crying so hard that maybe your stomach might just vomit up through your tear ducts, I highly recommend James White. It's about this young, kind of already troubled and damaged young man whose mother is in the last final stages, dying from cancer. And Christopher Abbott plays the young man. He is just really takes over this role. Again, the eyes, the face, he hardly says anything in the movie, and yet again your whole grief is threatening to literally kill you from the inside as you watch this movie. So yeah, he's a really good actor. Same thing in Catch-22, you're watching it, you're okay, wow, and it builds and it builds. There's many episodes to admire Christopher Abbott, and then you get towards the end of the movie and you're this guy is killing me with his face and his eyes and his acting. So why does that make him sexy? Why does that make this a thirst video? I can't explain that to you unless you watch it, unless you watch him. When you look at him, yes, he's handsome. Honestly, a lot of people say he looks like Kit Harington. I mean, you be the judge. They do. I did, I admit it. I used to think they were the same person. I hate myself for that now. But now when I look at them, no way. Christopher Abbott is a zillion times handsomer. He is handsome on his own. But when you see him act, when you see those eyes in film and in expression, you will see what I mean about the eyes to lady parts connection. I don't actually know where he got these dark, brooding, like literally luminescent and ultra expressive eyes. Apparently, according to Wikipedia, he has Italian and Portuguese ancestry, which right there you can kind of believe that's like the double whammy of intensity and sexuality. I also like, he also does like a lot of plays on Broadway, and I can see him like, you know, you're at a Broadway play and the actors are really kind of, you know, you could be up in the rafters, they could be really far away, but I can see him like emoting like to the rafters. You know, if I was in the rafters, I can still imagine being affected in a thirsty way by his talents. I would like to thank and appreciate Christopher Abbott for not only being super talented and super intense and super real on screen, but also translating that into being sexy. Like, there's something sexy about just being so capable. Like being on screen and like holding this whole like what is supposed to happen, the emotion that's supposed to get across, like giving it to you. He is giving it to you. It is really kind of obscene. I love this guy. I can't wait to see what else he does. If you're bored, I hope that you will check out Catch 22 on Netflix, and tune in next week when I present my video about the book Catch 22 and how it's a very interesting dissection of like the horrors of war juxtaposed with like the ridiculousness of what is life? What are people even doing? Why are the people who are in charge of making the world a better place actively always making it a shittier place? Like, what? This nonsense continues to this day. And that's why Catch 22 is totally a book that we should all be reading. There are a lot of people who read Catch 22 who are like, this is a bad book. This author does not know. This doesn't make any sense. You know what? It's not supposed to make sense. They're like, these scenes are not in order. Who edited this? You know who edited it? A genius. You know who wrote it? A genius. So let me tell you all about in detail, like what I wrote my essay on in high school. Like, it was really good. Like, my teacher was like, I can't believe you got a 5 because this was like the best topic ever.